I'm going to be frank with you.
5 survival and psychological movies that slowly mess with your head. You ever notice how the scariest movies aren't the ones with monsters, but the ones where nothing supernatural is happening at all? Just people under pressure, trapped, isolated, breaking down slowly in ways you don't immediately notice. No homescades, no ghosts, no apocalypse. Just survival and the human mind turning against itself. And in these 5 movies, that's exactly what happens. By the time you get to number 1, it doesn't even feel like you're watching fiction anymore. Alright, starting at number 5. And we're easing into this one, because it's more psychological discomfort than anything else. Number 5, anime. This one is weird in a quiet way. Not jump scare weird. More like something feels off, but you can't explain it. So the story follows a woman who goes back to her hometown after her brother disappears. And right away, something's just not normal. The town isn't panicking like you'd expect. Even the police feel like they're half asleep doing their job. And she starts digging, right? Now here's where it gets interesting. The more she looks for answers, the less stable everything feels, including her. Her brother left behind these audio recordings, and honestly, they start sounding less like missing person clues and more like someone slowly losing grip on reality. And you kind of sit there thinking, okay, is this a mystery, or is everyone just emotionally checked out? The movie never really shouts at you. It just kind of sits on your chest. And I won't lie, it's slow. Like really slow. But that's the point. By the end, you don't get that satisfying, oh now I understand everything feeling. It's more like you understand enough, and it still doesn't feel good. And yeah, that ending, it just leaves you there. No closure, no big twist payoff. Just silence. Kind of annoying, but also kind of the point. Now, number 4 is where things start feeling more grounded. Like survival actually becomes physical instead of just emotional. Number 4, shelter. Okay, this guy is living completely alone on an island. Not fun vacation alone. More like I don't want to deal with humans ever again alone. And then boom, he finds a girl washed up on shore. And that's where everything starts going sideways. Because now it's not just about surviving nature anymore. It's about trusting another human being when you've basically trained yourself to trust nobody. And honestly, that's where the tension is. Because you're watching them, and you're thinking, alright, one of these two is definitely not telling the full truth. But the movie never rushes it. It just lets the paranoia grow. Silence becomes the main soundtrack. Waves, footsteps, doors closing, that kind of stuff suddenly feels loud. And I like this part. Nobody feels safe. Not even the main character. At some point you realize it's not just the island they're surviving. It's each other. And yeah, that's when it gets uncomfortable. Okay, number 3 is where things shift a bit. This one isn't just survival against nature. It's survival against another person. And honestly, that's usually worse. This one is actually kind of funny at the start, before it gets stressful. So you've got this influencer couple. Everything is content, everything is staged, everything is look how perfect we are online. And then they end up stranded in the wilderness. No Wi-Fi, no audience, no pretending, just them. And bro, reality hits fast. At first it's small stuff, arguments, sarcasm, passive-aggressive comments. You know that couple energy where they're technically together, but also kind of fighting 24/7. But then survival kicks in, and suddenly it's not cute anymore. It becomes, who hid the food? Why did you lie about that? Can I actually trust you to not ruin my chance of surviving? And what's crazy is it never turns into a cartoon villain situation. It feels real, like two people who already had problems just getting stripped down to their worst versions. There's even a point where they're literally freezing, starving, exhausted, still arguing about emotional baggage from before the trip. And I'm just sitting there like, guys, maybe survive first, therapy later? Now, in number 2, this is where things start messing with your head. Like, you're not even fully sure what's real anymore while watching it. Number 2, Sleepwalker. Okay, this one messes with your head a bit. It starts with a tragedy. Someone dies, and the main character survives it. But after that, her life just starts feeling off. Not horror movie off. More like reality isn't lining up properly anymore. Things move slightly. People deny things she's sure happened. She wakes up in places she doesn't remember going to. And you start thinking, okay, trauma? Or is something actually wrong here? And that's the trick of this movie. It never lets you relax into a clear answer. It looks normal at first, like just a conversation. But slowly the dialogue feels repeated. The sound design shifts. Even the mood changes without warning. And you realize you're no longer sure what's real anymore. And that's exactly what she's going through. That part hit me because it's not loud or dramatic. It's just unsettling in a quiet way. And by the end, when everything clicks into place, it doesn't feel like a twist. It feels like understanding something you probably didn't want to understand.
3, 1, 3, 1, 2. That's how dreams work.
Alright, number 1. This is the one that ties everything together. And honestly, it's the most human one on the list. Number 1, Send Help. Alright, number 1. This is the one that just sticks the landing. So a plane crashes. 2 co-workers survive. They end up stranded on an island. Classic survival setup, right? But the movie doesn't really care about the island. It cares about the 2 people. At first, they try to cooperate, build shelter, find water, figure things out. Normal survival stuff. But the problem is they already didn't like each other before the crash. And now there's no escape from each other. And that's where it gets interesting. Because slowly, survival stops being the main threat. And each other becomes the threat. It's little things at first, disagreements, control issues, frustration. Then it turns into manipulation, emotional pressure, power games. And the worst part? You understand both of them. Like, neither feels fully wrong. Neither feels fully right. They're just human. Stuck. Panicking. Changing. And the island basically becomes a pressure cooker for personality. By the end, even the idea of rescue doesn't feel clean anymore. Because you start asking, if they get saved, are they even the same people anymore? And that's why it hits harder than the rest. Not because of action, but because it feels like people slowly losing themselves while trying to survive.
I don't think we should ever leave.
Minutes have passed.
As you can see, all 5 of these movies don't really rely on monsters or disasters. They all just slowly show what happens when people are pushed past their mental limit. So let me know, which one messed with your head the most? And if there's another psychological survival movie that deserves a spot in the list, drop in the comments below. I might make a part 2.
So,
Like, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.